What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video. And today, we got some pretty major news out of the 2024 Democrat primary for the presidency. Now, as many of you know, President Biden is all but a lock to get the nomination for the Democrats next year. That's not much of a surprise. I mean, he's an incumbent president, and while he's not the most popular in the world, he still has like 60-70% of the Democrat Party behind him. So, mathematically speaking, he's all but a lock. However, there may be a new catch to this 2024 primary, as Axios just reported that President Biden could lose the first two 2024 contests to RFK Jr. This isn't a joke. This isn't a parody. This is right from Axios. So this is a fairly reliable source, and we got to get into this because things could get a bit fascinating for the 2024 primary. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, guys. Go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. It is a great Twitter account everyone should follow. Of course, follow the Rumble page down below for exclusive content. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as help support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Also, of course, we will be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Yep, top right corner, you'll see a link to the stream. Click it, and you'll get sent to the streaming page. Of course, click the notification button, click the like button, and of course, share with your friends. So when the second the live stream starts, you get notified. And I hope everyone tunes in. Alright, enough promotion stuff. Let's get into it. So, things are about to get a bit interesting, a bit quirky for the 2024 primary. President Biden is almost certain to be the Democrats' pick for president in 2024, but he might not win the first two contests of the primary season if they're in the traditional first two vote states of Iowa and New Hampshire, a scenario that seems increasingly likely. Yeah, so as many of you know, Democrats have kind of changed the order of the primary. They have South Carolina and Nevada first, and then New Hampshire, and then Iowa a later date. But in the laws of New Hampshire and Iowa, for sure New Hampshire, I don't think Iowa, but for sure New Hampshire, they have to be the first primary in the country. They have to be, all right? And it's been tradition that they were always the first primary, while Iowa was the first caucus. Well, they're not too happy about them getting kicked to the curb for South Carolina and Nevada. And they're only picking those two states because, let's be real, those are the two states of Democrat establishment. They can effectively choose the nomination in those two states because they're critical. But if you go through Iowa and New Hampshire, you bring up an insurgent candidate like, say, Bernie Sanders. You know, if it was South Carolina and Nevada first in, say, 2016, well, Sanders would have got crushed, and he would have never gained any momentum, and the primary would have ended right away. So the Democrat establishment, they're purposely doing this to effectively choose the nominee. Biden's team is indicating he won't be on the ballots in those states if they vote before South Carolina, his choice to have the first primary. Democrats in Iowa and New Hampshire could defy Biden and move ahead with their contests, even as the party warns it will strip them of their national convention delegates if they jump the gun. And again, let's be real here. These delegates are probably not going to appear, all right? Like this says, they're not going to show up for the national convention because the Democrat Party controls it, and usually when they change the order, the states do, they usually lose their delegates. But still, it could be humiliating to see that the first two states, they just don't let Biden on the ballot. That sets up a scenario in which RFK Jr. or another long-shot Democrat could win those states and embarrass the president. Yeah, this is the thing that a lot of people I don't think understand. It doesn't matter if it's delegates or not. If people see that RFK Jr. upsets the president in Iowa and New Hampshire, which historically have been the first two states, and mind you, Biden already did not do good in 2020 in those two states. He did awful, especially New Hampshire. I don't even think he cracked 10%. So if the sitting president gets embarrassed in those two states, granted, Biden's still going to be the nominee, but it could give RFK some serious momentum going into the future states. Excuse me, I accidentally bumped the microphone, but either way. So, yeah, Biden's surprise decision last December to make South Carolina the first state in the Democrats' 2024 season with a primary on February 3rd. New Hampshire Democrats have openly bashed the White House and the Democrat National Committee. The new calendar put New Hampshire and Nevada voting second, a few days after South Carolina. But New Hampshire Democrats note that their state law requires them to have the nation's first primary, and many vow to keep it that way. Yeah, it's in their law. So, it's going to be could this backfire against Biden? Potentially. But there's a reason why. Why it's easier for Democrats to pick the nomination with, say, South Carolina. Look down here. This is why. New Hampshire's 87% white, Iowa's 83%, South Carolina's 62%. So, more white states, they're going to probably be more open to an insurgent candidate. Let's be real here. These more states like South Carolina and Nevada, it's easier for the Democrat establishment to pick their candidate. It just is. It's not being racist or anything like that. It's historically true. Whoever the Democrat establishment has wanted to win South Carolina, they've won it. They've won it every freaking time. Clinton, Biden won it in spite of not winning any of the first three states. Because the Democrat establishment united behind them, and they got a lot of sway in the state of South Carolina. They just do. And Biden's proposed calendar stunned many Democrats, even DNC chair Jamie Harrison, who is from South Carolina, and he said he wasn't given a heads up before the decision. So it sounds like there's a lot of turmoil, and Biden purposely decided to make this decision because of this right here. Biden has fond memories of South Carolina, where his primary victory in 2020 propelled him to the Democrat nomination. He has struggled in Iowa and New Hampshire contests in the past, and his team saw political security in pushing for South Carolina to vote first. That's why this is being made. Not because of, they're 60% white, they're more diverse. Bullshit. It's because Biden does better in South Carolina, in the Democrat establishment. While Iowa and New Hampshire, they're more open to a political insurgent, like RFK. They just are. It is a complete sham what's happening here. I mean, this has been tradition for 100 years now. And now they're going to gut it because, we need to ensure the party gets to choose the nomination. This sounds like a really democratic and fair system. So, if Biden, let's say, loses the states of Iowa and New Hampshire, because it sounds like he won't be on the ballot if they're the first two states. Some Democrats have floated a write-in campaign, but it's like, is that going to be enough? If RFK and Williamson are the only two people on the ticket in Iowa and New Hampshire, or the Iowa caucus, I should say, what do you think's going to happen? RFK's probably going to win. And that could give him serious momentum. This was always a dumb decision at the start because it opened the can of worms of, okay, what if Iowa and New Hampshire kicks him off the ballot? Which they absolutely could. This entire situation is absolutely bizarre, and it just shows the pure hypocrisy of the Democrats. We want democracy, but we're going to completely change the order so we get to choose who the nomination is instead of the people. That's what this is. This isn't about diversity. Give me a freaking break. If Iowa and New Hampshire were friendly to Biden, I guarantee you if Vermont was friendly to Biden, or one of those white states in the country, like Vermont, New Hampshire, or, West Virginia, he would absolutely frickin' pick one of those states to go first. Instead, no, he doesn't do good with those voters. He just doesn't. So, that's why they moved the entire order. And it may backfire that South Carolina, he may not even get on the ballot, even though he's going to probably win the nomination. It could be some significant momentum for RFK. But again, I'm not saying it's 100% going to happen. We just got to see what does in fact happen. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in tonight's live stream. Godspeed to all of you.